Hey guys, welcome back to another digital pickups video. This time going over the Steam Lunar New Year sale that has been ongoing for the couple past few days. I typically like to do these videos a little bit earlier just to show what I picked up a couple days in advance in case some of you guys are interested and decide to pick some of the same games up. So by the time I post this video, it'll be the last day of the sale, but I'm a little bit late posting the video, but at any rate, this Steam sales happen every now and then, during the course of the year. So hopefully I can share with you guys my games here. And they had some pretty cool events like free stickers, for example, if you're into the Steam community aspects, which is pretty cool. Like every day they had a free sticker, and of course, it goes without saying, a lot of great deals and a lot of different games ranging from indie to AAA games. So with that being said, let's just get started with what I picked up, which it wasn't that much, admittedly, as opposed to maybe other I guess previous sales. So I'm gonna get started here with the Halo the Master Chief Collection. You guys know me. I have the Xbox Series S and I do have Game Pass, so technically I already own this game, and I also have the physical version on the Xbox One. However, with the upcoming release of the Steam Deck, I figure it'd be nice to have a copy of the Halo Master Chief Collection, so I can play it, on a handheld device like the Steam Deck, which I have pre-ordered. Some of you guys may know, but this is a fantastic deal. I think it was a historical low in terms of cost. Typically, the sale price was $20, so I think for the first time ever, this was under $20 for $15.99 for $16 pretty much. You get 7 games, as you guys can see here. You get the Halo Reach, Halo Combat Evolved, which is the first one, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, and Halo 4. So a fantastic deal in terms of the bang for your buck, and very excited to have this, and hopefully I can play this on the Steam Deck. Next up is another game that I always been meaning to play. A game that was released originally for the Sega Genesis, I believe, and it ever since then it had a cult following, and this is kind of like the modern re-release of the game. And of course, we're talking about Mutant Football League, which combines. I'm a football fan. I like sports. So I was excited to pick this up. This is kind of like the remake or the modern version. And as you guys can see here, it's an arcadey type of football game featuring, monsters and mutants and whatnot. So fictitious teams in a fictitious league. And, the game is overall very, over the top, a lot of blood, a lot of gore, and violence in terms of tackling the opponents and whatnot. So pretty excited to finally pick this up. This is a game that I've been meaning to play ever since it was released. I believe all the way back in 2017, as you guys can see here. And the game was on sale for $4.49, so can't beat that for under $5. And the game does have DLC content also on sale, but I picked up just the base game just to test the waters and see if I like it, and go from there. But it should be a fun one. Hopefully, as fun as the classic one. We'll see. Next up is Shadowhand. It's an RPG card game. I've been playing a lot of Regency Solitaire as of late, which is a kind of like a cheapo, budget Steam game, like a solitaire pretty much, but a little bit fancy, has its own story and whatnot. But this is from the same developers, and I believe this game has a similar mechanic in terms of solitaire, high and lower cards, in order to move forward. In this case, I believe to attack. I can't really speak a whole lot other than that because I haven't played the game, but I think it's a card-based, RPG game that looks interesting, and it was on sale for fairly cheap, under $4, $3.74. So the game has fairly decent reviews here, and I'm looking forward. Like I said, I've been playing a lot of Regency Solitaire from the same developers, and this is a little bit more fleshed out in terms of the gameplay and combat and story, I guess. So we'll see. I'm excited to play it at one point. Next up, I picked up a package with the Shadow Warrior games that includes Shadow Warrior, the classic Redux, which is kind of like an updated version of the original game released back in the mid '90s. As you guys can see here, this is the original Shadow Warrior with updated graphics and so forth. So I actually never played the original Shadow Warrior, so I'm somewhat excited to play it. As you guys can see here, it's fast-paced, typical kind of like a '90s shooter, fast-paced and as you guys can see here, enhanced graphics and whatnot. So expansion packs, typical of Steam. This could be another fun one to play on the Steam Deck, actually, with the graphics and all that. So and as part of that package, obviously, Shadow Warrior, the first one, which is the reimagining of the first game that was released. Let's see here, back in 2013. This is a great game. I actually played this on the PS4. I want to say, I think it was a PlayStation Plus game at one point. I played this, but stopped playing. And again, this is another title that I think it'll be fun to download it on the Steam Deck. This is a modern version of the original one with great graphics. Very gory. Obviously, you have weapons and katana swords and so forth. Yeah, it should be a fun one. And again, it's part of that pack. I can't remember how much I paid for the pack, but it was very cheap. And then the last item that was included in that bundle is Shadow Warrior 2, which I haven't played yet. This was released in 2016, 3 years later, after the first reimagining of the first Shadow Warrior game. Should be a fun one. Again, follows the footsteps. Very unique. The settings, graphics, and a lot of violence as far as a first-person shooter goes. So I'm looking forward to this one. Obviously, I want to play the first one before I jump into this one, but this was part of that bundle, so looks pretty cool, and I'm excited for it. And the last Steam game that I picked up was Battlefield 3. This was on sale for like $8, and admittedly, I suck at mouse and keyboard. Thankfully, this can be obviously played with a controller, but I'm gonna get destroyed because obviously PC players that use mouse and keyboard have a huge advantage over players that use a controller. But nevertheless, this is more of a nostalgia purchase for me. This is one of my most played games of all time. Played this game to death on the PlayStation 3. Played it to death on the Xbox 360 via the backwards compatibility on the Xbox One. So just bought it for out of pure nostalgia and for, I guess, future proofing. I think the PC version will likely remain open, the servers and whatnot. I know on the 360 at least, when I played this game earlier or late last year, the community it's dwindling down a lot. Like there's only a few servers open, so I can't see this game lasting very long in terms of consoles, servers. But on the PC, I think it'll live on, and it'll be a nice way to revisit, one of my most addicting games of all time, which is Battlefield 3. This was on sale for $8, and it's a premium edition which has all the DLC and season pass content, which is pretty cool. So that does it for the Steam sale. However, if you guys, since I didn't pick up a ton of games, I'm gonna go over some of my Fanatical purchases, which I love this website. This is a great way to get very cheap Steam games. Even though they're like super budget games, you find gold every now and then. So this is the January Platinum Collection, which allows you to pick 3 games for $10, 5 games for $15, or 7 games for $20. I went for the lowest tier because there were only like 3 games that I was really interested in, and a lot of the other games I already own, like the Baldur's Gate games, which are a must own if you have a PC. But I decided to go with out of the 3 games with Redux, Lore of the Dead, which is a very interesting game. As you guys can see here, it has a very unique art direction. It's an RPG, supposed to be very hard, and as you guys can see here, the artwork is just fantastic in this game. It has a very dark theme, and This actually is one of the most popular in this bundle because, as you guys can see, it has low stock. So I picked this game. I also picked up Taxi Chaos, which is supposed to be like a modern reimagining of Crazy Taxi. I've heard mixed things about this game. Some people love it, some people don't. But I absolutely love the original Crazy Taxi, and anything that resembles that game, will get my money, I guess. And can't go wrong for 3 games for $10. Technically it's like a $3 and some change. So I'm looking forward to playing this Crazy Taxi clone. It's a modern version. Obviously, you guys can see here it has improved visuals and whatnot. And the last game I picked up was The Suicide of Rachel Foster, which is supposed to be this dark, I guess, investigation game where you're investigating the death of a person. It's supposed to be very dark and mysterious, and it's supposed to be fairly short, but it received a lot of positive reviews. It's kind of like a first-person, I guess, investigation game. As you guys can see here, you're trying to solve this mystery. And that was the third game that caught my attention. So that was one of the bundles that I picked up earlier in the month. And then the other bundle, just to close up the video, is the Build Your Own Fantasy bundle, which you can get 1 game for $1, 5 games for $3, or 10 games for $5. I mean, you can't go wrong. There are so many good games in this selection right here. And what I ended up getting here, I believe I got a Blood Bowl 2, if I remember correctly, which is a very interesting game. Then I got Healer's Quest, which is a heartwarming, kind of like a cutesy RPG where you play as a healer exclusively. So your job is to keep your party alive, basically. And it has this very cool looking art direction. Almost looks like a hand drawn, and this game has a lot of positive reviews. So as you guys can see here, your job is to maintain your party alive as they are trying to defeat enemies. So it's a good take on the RPG genre, and specifically focused on healers, which I thought it was kind of funny. And then I picked up the 2 double packs for the Scoutful chapters 1 and 2 and Scoutful chapters 1 and 3. These are like very hard games that are kind of like Metroidvania, but kind of like from above, like kind of isometric view almost, if you will. Unfortunately there's not a whole lot of what do you call it, photos in here, but here we'll play the video. And as you guys can see, it has like a sprite based kind of like graphics, very interesting, very nice art direction. And as I mentioned, it has like from above like a top-down view. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's supposed to be like a Metroidvania where you go back and forth, and interesting combat and all that. So the beauty of getting these two is that it's actually 4 games for both, if that makes any sense, because you get chapters 1 and 2, and then chapters 3 and 4. So that was a pretty good deal. And I believe, because I got the 5 games, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and I believe the 5th game, if I'm not mistaken, was Vambrace Cold Soul. It just looked interesting. Sometimes you have to do that in these bundles, and this is kind of like almost like an investigate. Looks like some sort of visual novel. It has good graphics, and I can't really say much other than I picked this game because I had to pick 5 games, and a lot of the other games that are cool, like in 3000 Duel, for example, I already owned this game. Vikings, I already owned this game. Glass Masquerade, which is a great game, I already own it. So sometimes I already own the games and I have to make a decision and pick a random game, but this one actually looks pretty good, based on the graphics. And that wraps up my digital pickups for the Steam New Year sale, and also the Fanatical New Year sale that they had. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later. Take it easy.